What a piece of garbage! Oh, hello, my dear watchers. It is I, Count Dracula. Just a moment, please. Ah, that's better. In case you're wondering what I was doing, I was reading this, Twilight. And I have to say, the book is a lot worse than anything I ever seen in my entire, or everything I ever read in my entire life. It is the worst vampire romance I ever read in my entire life. These vampire sucks. Vampire sucks. Time for my vampire magic to do a little something for this book. Ah, this is better. This is review for today, folks. Vampire Sucks. The extended Bite Me edition. One thing I have to say about this review, one thing I got to say about this parody. At least these vampires have fangs, unlike the movie. And it made fun of the vampires, and it shows exactly why I hate the Twilights. This show, honestly, it's a parody to this movie. Is this what we represent? Unbelievable. But how this parody is, it's making fun of these two. Twilight and New Moon. And of course, it ain't gonna explain what happened in the third story because in this movie, the girl spoiled it for everybody in the theater. Turns out that Bella has a child. But is this what Multiverse Reviewer spend all his money for? For the book, the audiobook, and these movies? Seriously. According to the story, exactly how this movie goes. Except they don't call her Bella. They call her Becca. And one thing I have to say, the actress in this parody, she's a lot better actress than this one. This actress. This, Kristen Swanson. Her performance is it's like something I would imagine that a mannequin can do. Something that a mannequin could do. Seriously. It is ridiculous. But seriously, folks, I stick with this a lot better. And it goes by the story where she finally figures out that Edward here is a vampire. And then they quit making those extended long stories and making them short like they should be. And of course, as you can see, these era vampires here, they mistake them as the Black Eyed Peas. Black Eyed Peas. Although I recognize this actress, she was from another show I will tell you later. I'll tell you all later. But anyway, in this movie he meets Edward's family. And every time when she cut her finger, the Jasper character thinks of her as a Big Mac. This is unbelievable. Un-freaking believable. And also they took a little bit from this movie, where Edward thought that Bella was dead, all because of Alice's psychic ability sees the future. Just like on this movie. And he said that he finds somebody a lot freakier, Lady Gaga. Trust me, folks. Her is a vampire? Watch her on American Horror Stories Hotel, where she played a vampire on that one. They don't say vampire, but it's obvious what they are. Anyway. And to make a long story short, they ended the movie where Edward, according to the Voltaire's law, he should bite her and make her become a vampire. And that's exactly what happens in the Breaking Dawn. The final story, where she finally become a vampire after she gave birth to her child, the half-human, half-vampire. And of course, there are a group of these girls, one who are the Team Edward and the Team Jacob, fighting over who is the best. And one of them just hit Edward with a bat full of nails. But of course, Becca turned into a vampire and went after them. And of course, there's a brief moment of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the movie. She was about ready to save Becca by one of these bad vampires, but she accidentally maced Buffy. And she said, "I was trying to help you, you witch." Ugh. All in all, this is entertaining. It's not as good, but at least it makes fun of the vampires that I cannot stand anymore. Along with these two. Even though the vampires in this movie are not all that interesting, there is one character on the Twilight books that I do find very interesting. Alice Cullen. Yeah, that's right, I keep a poster of her. What of it? But one thing I had to say, this actress who plays her, Ashley Greene, she was very, very good. Very interesting. Maybe one of these days I could turn her into a real vampire and show how us vampires really are. And we do not sparkle in the sunlight. As you can see, it's daytime here. But do you see me sparkle at all? No. I just lost my powers, that's all. Temporarily. I lost my vampiric powers temporarily, but when the sun goes down, it comes back. That's how I go. If you ever read Stoker's Fable, that's how the story goes. I go out in the sunlight, I don't sparkle, but I lose my powers. Temporarily. And then when the sun is down, my powers come back. And unlike the Twilight stories, I'm gonna say this. Vampire Diary and True Blood were better adaptations. They were better vampire romance ever made. Except this one, it's geared more to teenagers, but it's still entertaining nonetheless, just like Twilight. Except this time they show fangs and they don't sparkle in the sunlight. And as for these vampires, in True Blood, well, it's geared more to adults. But for those of you who haven't seen the show or read it, spoiler alert, the girl in this story, her name is Sookie Stackhouse, and she has the ability to read people's minds, but she cannot read the minds of vampires. And she falls in love with this vampire Bill. But it turns out why she can read minds? It's because she's part human, part fairy. And most of the fairies were close to extinction because all the vampires had wiped all the fairies to extinction, because any vampire who sucks the bloods of fairies can stay out in the sunlight. Yeah, sure, these vampires, they burn the sunlight, but I am unique. I am the master, the lord of the vampires. Sunlight doesn't burn me, it just weakens me. That's it. Makes me live more like a human. Or, in case those of you are going to be wondering, yes, I heard that the actor Robert Pattinson is going to be playing Batman. Hey, multi-voice reviewer! What do you think about Robert Pattinson playing Batman? I don't know. I mean, some of you have seen my review about my thoughts about having another Batman movie, and first it was Ben Affleck, and then they, now I hear that they stopped with the idea of having Ben Affleck playing Batman and also having Ben Affleck directing it. They skipped the whole idea and decided to make a brand new Batman movie with Mr. Edward Collins here playing Batman. Now, I'm not saying anything against him. I'm not saying anything against Robert. I mean, he's probably a good actor, but him playing Batman? I don't know. I mean, I did went kind of skeptic over Ben Affleck playing Batman, but now with Robert Pattinson playing Batman, we shall see. We shall see. But I'm not going to hold my breath. But another thing I do have a problem with, though, I heard that they're going to plan to have Alfred be a woman. Alfred Pennyworth, the butler, be a woman in the new Batman movie. I got nothing. And of course, another thing I heard, they were planning to have a female Joker, and this female version of the Joker, she's going to be not exactly a complete, full villain bad guy, but be more of an anti-hero. Huh. We did have a female clown who's an anti-hero. Now, what was her name? Oh yeah! Harley Quinn! I mean, if you want to make the female Joker, focus more on Harley Quinn. But I'm still skeptic over having a female Alfred. One thing I think they should do is have a female Robin. Hear me out. My idea of the female Robin would have been Carrie Kelly. If those of you who have read or seen the animated movie of The Batman Returns, they should make Carrie Kelly be Robin, and if they want Dick Grayson, let him be Nightwing. And that's all I'm saying. That would have been entertaining on my part. Well, that's all I'm saying, folks. And I hope that this Joker movie turned out to be is pretty good. Because I'm hearing a lot of good hopes about Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be in the same level as Heath Ledger, because nothing replaced Heath Ledger. And not Jared Leto. Well, I say my piece, because I'm Batman! Thank you, multi-voice reviewer. Well, this is my review for the day. My advice to you guys, get rid of these Twilight movies and enjoy Vampire Suck. It is a good movie, to my opinion. But if you want to go by the true vampire romance, just get into Vampire Diary, or if you want something more mature, check out True Blood. You can find them on DVDs or look them up on Netflix or whatever. Anyway, this is Count Dracula, telling to you all, good night.